At Custom Brands Group, we proudly provide a high-quality, full-range honeycomb shade offering. Our program features extensive fabric styles, on-trend colors, shapes, and light control options, so a perfect solution can be created for any window. We're proud to show you our fabrication facility so you can see how these beautiful, quality honeycomb shades are manufactured. Follow us as we go behind the shades to see exactly how your custom honeycomb shades are fabricated to our thorough, exacting standards. Our honeycomb shades are produced at our state-of-the-art fabrication facility, one of the largest in North America, located in Rosarito Beach, just 20 miles from San Diego. All incoming product components are randomly pre-inspected upon arrival at our facility. Here, we're inspecting the honeycomb fabric before it is allowed into our working inventory. Quality control follows a detailed inspection process that includes verifying the fabric color against the color standard and conducting a thorough visual inspection for any potential defects. To start production of each shade, an order is printed. Every order generates a unique barcode for each product line item to ensure precision and help eliminate the opportunity for human error throughout the fabrication process. This barcode captures all the key details to produce a high-quality product. For honeycomb shades, it details the shade size, fabric selection, coordinating color components, control options, and other critical information. Utilizing pre-inspected fabric pulled from our working inventory, our operator starts production of this honeycomb shade. The fabric has its own barcode and, when scanned, the equipment provides the operator a visual overview of the size and number of cells this piece of fabric has. The operator counts the number of fabric cells needed for this specific shade and then cuts the fabric at the correct cell count. She then places the fabric into a machine that provides a precision width cut. Finally, she applies the order's barcode label to the fabric to ensure it tracks to the correct components throughout the manufacturing process. After the fabric has been cut, it is re-inspected to ensure there are no defects or blemishes. This second fabric inspection is just one of the many review steps we conduct throughout the manufacturing process in order to deliver a high-quality honeycomb shade. Let's take a closer look at our honeycomb fabric, specifically our patented D-cell design. We call it D-cell because when fully open, it resembles the letter D. This unique design allows the front side to maintain its fullness from top to bottom for the life of the shade. Another example of the quality we build into every shade. Now back to the production line, where the honeycomb fabric is cleanly punched to provide the holes for the operating cord. Notice that the operator reattaches the order after she completes the fabric punch operation, so the next operation is as accurate as the first. Here, our operator is cutting aluminum slats that are then inserted into the top and bottom fabric cells. These filler strips provide the rigidity necessary to securely hold the fabric into both the top and bottom rails. Here we are cutting our rails to the precise order measurements. The rails are made of extruded aluminum and are color coordinated with the shade fabric. We use aluminum for our rails because it's strong but lightweight, and it won't rust, even in high humidity environments. As we cut, you'll notice that this equipment doesn't look pretty, but it's practical. The baffling that lines this machine muffles the sound to provide a quieter work environment and minimizes aluminum shavings from potentially damaging the shades and injuring our employees. Our skilled team member will now start assembling the fabric and rails into the working shade. She starts by placing fabric stays in the holes where the cords will be threaded, so the cords don't rub against the fabric or metal. She cuts the lift cords, expertly threads the cords through the fabric, and then ties on a washer that keeps the cord from pulling through the shade. While she's sliding on the top and bottom rails, notice the thin profile of both rails. The benefit of these thin rails is most noticeable when the shade is stacked, providing the consumer more view through her window. Now our operator is installing the color-coordinated end-loaded cord lock. With the cord lock installed at the very end of the shade, the cord is positioned at the shade's edge, and therefore is less obtrusive. Plus, the protruding cord lock design keeps the cords away from the fabric, so the shade isn't soiled when the cords are pulled from side to side to operate. We utilize the most extensive offering of color-coordinated components, including tassels, end caps, and top and bottom rails for all our honeycomb shade offerings. This added detail provides a truly customized, beautiful shade. Now the shade is in our final assembly inspection area. Here, rail weights are added to the bottom rail. As the fabric is quite light, some weight is needed to pull the shade down to its full height. Rail weights are added to both sides for proper balance. Now she is adding the cord equalizer and adjuster plate. The shade is adjusted so it is level when leaving our factory. However, windows are sometimes out of square. If an installer runs into this situation when installing the shade, they can utilize the cord equalizer to easily adjust the shade to be level in the window. As we move to the final assembly steps, our operator attaches the consumer safety warning tag and the pole tassel. Utilizing a soft mallet, she gently taps the end caps into place. She also cleans the shade, removing any lint or dust it may have picked up during assembly, and verifies that there was no damage through the manufacturing process. You may have noticed our operator is wearing a gold vest. This signifies that she is one of our quality stars, so she not only does the final assembly, but also the quality control check for this shade. Lastly, she trims all cords to their proper length, prepares the completed shade for packaging, and applies the product labeling. This labeling can be used as a reference throughout the life of the shade. In addition to our traditional cord lock shade, we fabricate a variety of other cord lock control options. Cordless honeycomb shades are a popular option for homes with children and pets since there are no external operating cords. As this shade requires a different headrail operating system, let's take a look at the operating components and how this shade is assembled. The color-coordinated headrail accommodates the motor and cord spools that will comprise the shade lift system. The operator installs the lift motor and then skillfully threads the lift cords onto the spools, then through the fabric. Before she ties them off at the bottom rail, the lift cord is slipped through a ferrule. The ferrule is a little detail that makes a big difference to a smooth installation. We'll show you that in just a moment. She then winds each lift cord onto the spools. Once that is completed, she slides the fiberglass lift rod into the spools and the motor. Then she confirms everything is operating correctly by raising and lowering the shade. Here's a close-up look at the cordless lift operating system. Note the lift cords in the spools, the spool covers that ensure consistent cord wrapping, the clips that secure the spools into place, the motor and the fiberglass lift rod, all critical components to a smoothly operating shade system. All shades go through a series of inspections as part of the final assembly process. Here, the operator is confirming the order's measurements and making a slight length adjustment utilizing the pocket and ferrule in the bottom rail. This component allows the installer to make an easy in-home adjustment should the window be out of square. A clear handle is added, providing the consumer an easy way to lift and lower her shade without soiling the fabric. On select styles of our honeycomb shades, we offer fabric-wrapped head and bottom rails for a truly customized style. To achieve this look, the operator first wipes down the aluminum rails to ensure strong fabric adhesion. She then carefully applies industrial double-faced adhesive tape to both the exterior and interior of the top and bottom rails. Next, she prepares the fabric and then skillfully lays the fabric down on the adhesive tape. All excess fabric is then trimmed away. As the headrail on the cordless shade features a higher profile, we've produced a matching fabric strip to accommodate the larger rail. It's necessary to take this step so as to avoid an unsightly crease across the headrail. Again, our operator skillfully lays down the double-faced adhesive tape and carefully applies the fabric. The fabric-wrapped headrail and bottom rail enhances the cordless shade's overall appearance by providing a seamless transition between the rails and the shade fabric. We offer an extensive array of specialty shades, so just about any window can be dressed with a beautiful honeycomb shade. This ability to fabricate a honeycomb shade for most windows allows for full coordination throughout a room and a house. Let's take a look at some of the most popular specialty products. Producing the perfect, imperfect arch is easy, since in most cases, we don't need a customer-supplied template. With just a few key measurements, we can produce the template at our fabrication facility. Customer service receives the order, verifies the information is accurate, then prints the real-size template on this large-scale Canon printer. The template is placed on a production wall, and the bottom rail is then mounted against the template to simulate the real installation environment. The fabric is installed, and our technician does a preliminary cut to remove the excess fabric. She then continues to cut and trim the fabric to carefully refine the arch shade to the correct size. It is a detailed process that takes an expert eye, a skilled hand, and a lot of patience. Using industrial scissors that are routinely sharpened, our technician performs a series of micro-cuts to ensure a precisely trimmed arch. After the technician has completed the shade, it is reinstalled on the template. A quality control staff member then thoroughly inspects the shade vis-a-vis the order and the template, and then completes a visual audit. Now let's take a quick look at some of our other popular specialty offerings, starting with the top-down, bottom-up shade. This option provides the consumer the ability to customize light and privacy. Motorized shades are the perfect solution for hard-to-reach windows and larger shades. Vertical honeycomb shades serve as ideal room dividers and look great on sliding glass doors. Plus, the fabric will match other honeycomb shades ordered for the same room. And the continuous cord loop option makes it easier to lift and lower large shades. Once every shade is completed, packing it correctly is an important part of the quality control process. We pack all mounting and installation brackets directly with the shade, so the parts arrive with the shade and never get lost in the packing material. As the shade moves to the final packing stage, foam blocks are inserted to protect the shade throughout the transit process. Now ready for shipping, each shade is scanned at our dock by a FedEx employee, loaded onto the truck, and delivered stateside. And since the order can be tracked the moment it has been scanned onto the truck, it is easy to monitor the shipment progress. Every day, FedEx trucks transport our finished product directly to customers throughout the U.S. We're proud to produce these high-quality honeycomb shades for our customers. Thank you for joining us on this Behind the Shades tour.